What better way to explore RuneScape's latest area expansion than to lock a fresh account to it? This is Varlamoe, my Varlamore locked Hardcore Ironman. My goal? To obtain all the unique items in Varlamore. No trading, no help, and 1 life. There are dozens of ways you could start a Varlamore locked account. The region is rich with content and full of resources. And yet, despite all of that, I chose to do the one thing that immediately put my hardcore status on the line.
Ooh, what have we got over here? Bird bath. Okay. Yeah, I want to drink from it.
This is a bird bath. And yeah, seems unsuspecting, right? Well, little did I know that at the time of trying to drink from this, that it can do one of 4 things. Damage you for 1, boost your defense by 2, it could do absolutely nothing, or option number 4. It could poison you, which on a fresh account with only 10 HP would have been a huge risk. Luckily, we didn't get poisoned, but the risk was there and you've just learned something new. Maybe. Alright, so what have we got going on here? We've got the bazaar here in the center. This is where a lot of the thieving happens. Crime seems to be the main ingredient in the city. There's a park with a fishing... house keys? Enemy spotted. A boot! A boot! Old boot aside though, this fishing spot has a really interesting drop table. Caskets for gems and some nice lazy early money. But you can also get house keys. These are part of a new thieving method where you can literally burgle people's houses. Pretty neat if you ask me. I just can't wait for the drink driving update. That's got to be coming next, right? This thieving method is locked behind a 50 level requirement though, so I'll be saving these house keys for later. I figure money is probably our first hurdle in this region. Luckily, this Eclipse wine spawn at the top of the Hunter Guild sells at the general store for 400 GP each. This is definitely our best early moneymaker right now. Almost a full inventory of Eclipse wines later, and that's 9.6k. It doesn't seem like much, but 9.6k is gonna get us something. Upgrades, baby. Look at me! I think we're ready for the first big PVM challenge. Yeah, we're killing seagulls. That's right. These guys do no damage, so it's a pretty safe way of getting some base stats. This is just a pure moment. Let's take this in because it's not always gonna be this easy. 5 attack, huge. We got the steel simmy. I actually can't explain how happy this makes me. I don't know why, just these small gains, they make all the difference. And while I was having too much fun to think about it, I had some seriously big grinds ahead of me. If you had to boil the current state of Varlamore down into just 3 main components, it would look something like this. You have Torum and the Perilous Moons dungeon, which has some of the best gear that we are going to be able to unlock on this account. You have the Hunters Guild and the new Hunters Rumors. And of course, the big one, we have the Colosseum, which if you don't know is a really difficult wave-based minigame and is definitely going to be our biggest challenge with the gear available to us just on Varlamore. Obviously, some of those are longer term goals, so let's start with something simple. Adamant armor. Well, adamant armor and a rune mace. This is, unfortunately, the best that Varlamore has to offer when it comes to buying armor directly from shops. And we're gonna need those, plus some combat stats to tackle the first quest in the Varlamore chain. Here we go, 5 defense coming in. There's the steel upgrade. I think if we get a steel full helm and a shield now, we can actually go camp sand crabs, which will be our best semi-AFK combat trainer method. Let's go do that. This is the Sunset Coast. There are a ton of useful item spawns here that I took advantage of, mostly fishing supplies. Of course, we came here for the steel helmet, but most interestingly is this iron bar and hammer spawn right next to an anvil. So that might see some use in the near future. There's the wooden shield spawn. Oh god, it's multi-combat. Oh no. I've only got 12 HP, please. Don't hit too hard. That was definitely an unnecessary risk, and speaking of which, I've noticed one more. There is a bunch of harpy bug swarms right near these hill giants that are just covering an iron pickaxe spawn. And honestly, it's just not worth it, guys. It might be nice, but it's just not worth it. I could get an iron pickaxe through any other means. And actually, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here because now we're set up at sand crabs. I'm sure these guys can drop an iron pickaxe, so no need to risk our lives over it. These sand crabs are just chill. Mithril scimitar upgrade. That's 30 attack. Yeah, looking good. Cape, boots, and gloves. Oh, come on, God. Look at me. Oh. All right, while I'm killing these crabs, getting 30 defense and 40 attack for our final gear upgrades, here are my stats, which brings up the elephant in the room. Exceptions. To get to Varlamore, you don't actually need any exceptions, but I want to be able to do everything in Varlamore. Before getting here, I completed Druidic Ritual and Rune Mysteries for access to Herblore and Runecrafting. They're standard exceptions, but here are the requirements for the Perilous Moons quest. 20 Runecraft, 20 Hunter, and 48 Slayer just aren't feasible without some exceptions on Varlamore. Even the 10 construction requirement is a bit of a nightmare. There's no saw spawns until after partially completing the Perilous Moons quest, and there's no player-owned house in Varlamore. Well, that's not entirely true. Jagex are just kind of teasing us with this one that we can't use yet. So here are the first additional exceptions. X marks the spot for access to Zaya and the library to train to 20 runecrafting without affecting other skills. We also got 20 Hunter, which, as it turns out, is possible to train along with construction through forestry events. So I'll be bringing over a forestry kit and making up for those Hunter levels through a lot of painfully labored forestry events. That leaves the question of Slayer though. 48 Slayer could take over a year to lamp. And I don't know how you guys feel, but it doesn't make for enjoyable content or gameplay. There's just too much locked behind Torum and the Perilous Moons, but we'll get there. Eventually. And just like that, 30 defense. Look at all of these levels, man. I'm so glad Varlamore has sand crabs. I can't help but feel they're a little bit of a waste of time because they don't really drop anything useful, so as soon as we have that rune mace, we're moving on to bigger things. Round 30s though, this is a huge start for the account. 44k made from just under an hour of hopping, collecting and selling Eclipse wines. Honestly, might need to consider getting 50 thieving soon so that we can make quicker GP, but this should be enough for a little while. Chadament gear obtained. Steel helmet's kind of gross to look at though, so let's sort that out. I was on my way down to the Sunset Coast helmet shop, right? And I could just feel that the farming patch was just like shaming me. Noob. It was just staring at me, giving me a bit of that dirty side eye. I'm still one farming, and if I don't start it now, then I'm just prolonging an inevitably huge grind for later. So every time I pass this patch from now on, I'm raking it, planting whatever crappy little seeds I have. I'm milking every drop of farming XP I can get because it will be the secret to success later on. Addy full helm, lovely. Hey, there it is, 40 attack, that is huge. I'm not gonna waste another second here. We are done with sand crabs. Okay, I've got some cash. I'm on my way to get the upgrade. Pass in the dogs with the cabbage. Look at those guys. It's the little things in Varlamore. I think the little things here just make it such a nice place to look at. This is the mace shop, and this is our best in slot weapon. Boom, 18k gone. We're gonna gain 8 melee strength, 4 prayer bonus, which is actually huge. Pop. And this is what peak performance looks like, believe it or not. We are gonna be stuck with this setup for quite a long time. I am finally off the crabs, guys. I'm off them. Instead, I've opted for the bandits and thieves just northwest of the city for 3 big reasons. 1, their drop table is really generous for early herbs and runes. 2, if I'm ever low HP, I don't need to run back to a bank or food shop because the people in the temples around Varlamore can heal your HP back to full for free. So that's a lovely way to save time and money. But big reason number 3, there's a secret 4 iron dart spawn in the upstairs of this house. 4 iron darts. That's huge for our early range training and the secret to how we'll tackle the Twilight's Promise quest. And honestly, these thieves are just way better than bandits anyway. They're a lower level, pretty much the same drop table, and much closer to a bank. Look at that full inventory of herbs. That is one of the few rare sights of Varlamore. Also, the iron dart spawn in that house is pretty quick. I managed to get 60 just in between some kills, so I'm gonna go back there, maybe hop some worlds, and gather up darts for this quest. Okay, I have got 200 iron darts. This is maybe a little bit overkill. And the reason we need these for the quest is there is one particular fight against one of the Knights of Varlamore, like a level 90 NPC, who prays whichever style you're using after a few hits. So you need to have 2 combat styles. All right, started the quest. Is this guy following me or is this just coincidence? Hairy possum. This guy is locked in. Let's see if he follows me down here. He does. Oh, I've got my own pet. He followed me back up too. Oh my God. I think this guy's in it for the long haul. Wait, he's gone. He's TP'd. Wait, did he just? No. He just TP'd behind me. Is this guy stair locked or something? No, we lost him in the cutscene. He's gone forever. Maybe he'll meet us at the Colosseum. It's time to do the fight. All right, I'm going in. Does the hardcore status end here? Oh, that would be atrocious. We'd have to just delete the account straight away out of shame, out of pure shame. All right, so he's praying melee now. This is where the darts come in. We switch. And then even though my range level is still 1, he'll switch back to pray range. And yeah, we go back to clubbing his head in with a rune mace. That was honestly pretty chill. I only used about 5 or 6 stews, so not bad. I wonder if that's ever given someone like a false sense of security and they've thought, oh, the Colosseum's probably that easy. And then they've gone in and just... Hey, Twilight's Promise complete. 3k Thieving XP, that's nice. But the main thing is the ability to use the Quetzal transportation system. That is just gonna save so much time. Eventually, once I get hunter levels and I can do hunter's rumors, I'll be able to unlock the full transport system, allow me to just basically go wherever I want around Varlamore. Right now though, I can only quick travel to a few areas. Even this though is huge because it previously took me, I'm not even kidding, 5 minutes to walk from the main city to the top of the Teo map. And you might be thinking, so what? You can get to the top of this mountain. What's the significance in that? Well, this has now opened up my best prayer training method on the account, unlocking its true potential as a rune mace warrior. God, I'm gonna have to look at this gear for a long time. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this. There's something so simplistic yet fun about making a region locked account. So I'm excited to see how far we can take this. And I hope you guys are too. If you are, consider subscribing so you don't miss future episodes, and I'll see you guys in the next one.